get your mind around understanding measuring stuff. Talk with your neighbor. How would you measure the circumference of my coffee cup? Go. I'm going to measure the circumference of my coffee cup. Who's got an answer? Jovan. We got the string. Wrap the string move. I like that move. String around. Measure string. Now, it doesn't have to be string. It can be anything flexible, right? Okay. Excellent. Who's got another one? Micah, hit me.
Measuring tape.
Measuring tape. Flexible thing, wrap it around. Excellent. Who's got another one? Anusha.
Diameter times 3.14.
Find the diameter and multiply by pi. Because 3.14 is what your grade 8 teacher said, and that's not right. Just kidding. Safe space. Diameter times pi. Excellent. Who else has one? Anybody think of another way to do it? Oh, Amrit, I couldn't see your head. It's behind Cho's head. Tape. Again, something flexible. Wrap around it. Yes. Nobody think of another way? Put it on the ground and roll it. One turn. It's almost the same thing, except instead of wrapping something around it, you can do it with something straight. Yay! Good. Next. This question, there's something special about that question. Talk to your neighbor. Now, I used to have a toaster oven. Now I have a microwave, and you can't see it very well. Damn it! Stupid moving of my microwave. I got to go into the kitchen now. Well, what do you call the room in your house with a fridge and things to cook stuff? What do you call it? I hope you don't call it the bathroom.
No, I think it's the kitchen.
Ah, my toaster!
No, not your toaster.
Hey, I got this toaster for a wedding present. It's like a 25-year-old toaster.
Oh, man.
Wait, you got a toaster for a wedding?
When I got married 20 years ago.
Like, was it like a house? Like, was it like a house gift or was it like a wedding present? Like, oh yeah, congratulations, here's a toaster.
You have a list of stuff, and people get the stuff from the list.
So it's a house present.
You wanted
Yeah.
I wanted a toaster.
Oh.
I wanted a good toaster. Hey, Lassa, Krups, right? German, best toaster in the world.
I don't know.
I wanted the Porsche toaster, but it was like $250. And you know what? For $250, guess what it makes? Toast. Big effing deal, right?
Toast.
Same thing with this thing. It's the best toaster in the world. It sucks. It's a useless toaster. I hate it. That's why it lives here, not at my house. My house, I got a $20 toaster. Works perfect. Anyway, I'm in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen. It's dinner time. Here's the glass in the microwave. How would you measure it? Talk. Are you two going to work together a lot?
Yeah.
And are you two going to work together a lot? Fix this. Interesting that you two moved. And Jacob and Anusha's like, nope. Didn't even make an effort. That's interesting how that happened. And Nicholas and Gagan just, yeah, I know. I'm just going to move. Whatever. I get it. What's wrong with that question? Because I'm telling you right now, that is a piece of crap question. I would never give you that question on a test. What's wrong with it? Why is it wrong? No, you can accurately measure things.
It doesn't specify if it's the width or the
Damn right. What am I measuring?
Left to left.
Am I measuring the width? Am I measuring the length? Am I measuring the thickness? Am I measuring the surface area? That's why that's a piece of garbage question. So what did you guys come up with? Some of you said ruler, but it's curvy. Will a ruler work? Yeah, you could use reference, right? Nice. Anybody else? So the first thing that's wrong with that is it's a bad question. You don't have to write that down. But you should be writing down this. Did I mean width? Length? Diagonal? Because that's, of course, how we measure a TV. When you say, oh, I got a 55-inch TV, it's the diagonal measurement. Horrible question. Now, let's move on to this question, which is a better question. Kind of. It's a possible question. You can answer that question, can't you? You all know where this room is. You all know where the office is, right? So that question, you know what I'm asking you to measure. Yeah? How would you measure it? What would you use? The rolling wheel, the trundle wheel, that's called. That would work fine, except you've got to go downstairs.
Roll it downstairs.
Roll it down the stairs.
Go down the elevator.
Oh, wait till like 3 months into the school year when all of you have twisted your ankle somehow and 87 million of you are on crutches and everyone's taking the elevator. I don't know what happens to your people's ankles, man. When I was a kid, nobody was on crutches ever. But every day I walk through the hall, there's 75 of you on crutches. I don't know what you're doing to your feet and legs out in the real world, man. I've been on crutches once in my life, and I'm 43. I've been playing rugby every Saturday of my life since 1988, and I've been on crutches once. I don't know what you guys are doing to your ankles here. Something's weird. Hayden.
You can't really measure because then you just change your route a bit differently. You change the
Nice. Everybody would get a different measurement, wouldn't they? Right? Some people, how many of you would go out to the rotunda and down those stairs? I would go to the rotunda too. I like the rotunda. It's nice. How many people go right out there and go down those stairs? Because it's closer? Okay. How many people would wait for the crutch person to take the elevator?
I would take the elevator.
How many people would walk out to the edge of the rotunda, tie a vine to their foot, and jump off like the guys from Papua New Guinea? I'll have to show that video next time we have time. I once did a project where we bungee jumped Barbie dolls off the rotunda. We made bungees out of elastics and we bungee jumped them off. There was a test to see if the kids could figure the stretch. It was a measurement thing. And then somebody got mad that I was jumping Barbie dolls, and they were like, that's not appropriate, because a lot of the Barbie dolls were dying because they were hitting the floor. They're not even alive. They're dolls. Right? No, people got mad at me. I know, right? Everyone's like, oh, you got to do hands-on things. So I came up with the idea, and then everyone's like, you can't do that. Why? They're dolls. And I got them from the dollar store. They weren't even real Barbie dolls. And then I donated them. I probably shouldn't have, because of course you all know that toys from the dollar store are filled with poison. Shouldn't buy any toys from the dollar store. Oh yeah, because they're made in other countries that don't have the same level of, not technology, safety stuff. No, safety stuff. But anyway, don't buy toys at the dollar store. You shouldn't buy toys at the dollar store anyway, because they're all made of plastic and they're just destroying the world. You shouldn't buy toys at all. All right, no, you should buy toys, but toys that can be reused forever and ever and ever. Okay, back to business. How are we going to measure our way to the office? Hayden makes a valid point. Depending on your route, it's going to be different. Okay, so let's all agree on a route. We've all decided we're going to take one route to the office. Now, we've got some ideas for how we're going to measure. We heard trundle wheel. What else? What else could you do? Jacob.
count your steps and turn it into meters.
You could count your steps, and then that would give you a good referent, right? If a step is a meter, cool. Hayden. Everyone's strides are different, yeah. You're right. But we would get an idea. Now, the problem with that is I said actually measure it, right? So unless you could guarantee, as Hayden says, your steps were always perfect, it wouldn't be actually measuring. It would just be an idea, yeah? Okay? So how can we actually do it other than the trundle wheel? What?
That cloth measuring tape that like unrolls.
Yeah, you could take a real, or it doesn't even have to be a measuring tape. You could take a rope, right? And just pull it behind you like Hansel and Gretel. Except they use breadcrumbs, idiots. What the hell? Breadcrumbs. Right? And somehow, that becomes like a famous thing. And Hansel and Gretel were idiots. They should have been thrown in the witch's oven. They were in the real story, in case anybody cares. In the real story, Hansel and Gretel, the brave woodsman does not save them. They are eaten by the witch. And in the real story of Cinderella, Cinderella's stepsisters chop off their toes so they can fit into the slipper.
You talking about the messed up version?
No, I'm talking about the real version, the messed up version of the Disney versions that you guys grew up watching. The real stories, the original German stories, are hardcore.
They're making another Jungle Book. It's called Mowgli, and it's like what happens when he goes to the village, and they like imprison him, like put him in a cage because he's like a rabbit. He can't even speak English.
Maybe. You know that kid that played Mowgli in that live action Jungle Book? That was his first job.
Yeah.
He never acted in anything else. I know, right? It was wicked, too. I love that movie. All right. So we got the string. We got the... Okay. Is there a way, can anybody, you can think about it amongst yourselves, can anybody, any of you figure out a way I could measure the distance from here to that office without leaving this desk? Yeah. Holy crap! You're going to move right to the front of the class, man. You're absolutely right. What would I use? The building plans. Yeah, I know, right? That guy. Everyone's going to want to sit by you now.
Okay, no, I'm not actually smart. I'm just good at like guessing.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that. That's still a skill. Good. Wow, you guys are super smart. So we could use the string. We could use the plans. If we were just estimating, we could estimate by walking. Now, there's another problem with that. What is the distance from here to the office? Don't give me a number. What does it mean to say how far is something from something? How far am I right now from Marcus? What would you measure to get the distance between me and Marcus? Where would you put your measuring device? You'd just do a straight line, right? Can I get to Marcus in a straight line right now? Why not? There's crap between us, right? So what is the distance to Marcus? Is it this straight line? Or is it out and down the aisle? The straight line. So what's the distance to the office? I could say it's straight down through the walls, right? Kind of like when you go on Google Maps and you look for how far apart two things are and it shows you the road to get there and it takes forever, especially if the road has to go around a mountain or something. It takes forever to get there, but really it's they're like right beside each other. So there's that question. That's what the problem here is. What distance do I mean? So again, does showing your work come into play here? If I asked you this question on a test, we've decided there's 8 ways to answer it, yes? If you just wrote a number without explaining it to me, that does me no good, does it? But if you explain it to me, then all these answers are all technically the right answer, aren't they? Everybody with me? Sweet. Now, we've already talked about them. There's a million things we can measure with, right? What are some of them? Just yell them out. String. Great. What else? Meter stick. Tape measure. Ruler. The wheelie thing. Right? Million things. I don't need you to write them all out. You can just write any 4. I don't even care. Now we get to some actual skills. Please turn to page 14. On page 14 is a tape measure. It is in imperial. How do you know? Because it says inches. Now, since it's imperial, is it broken down into decimals?
Yeah.
No. It's broken down. It says right here, it's broken into sixteenths. It's not decimals, because imperial is stupid. It's not based on 10. So to read a tape measure, you have to be aware of how it is set up. Most tape measures are divided into sixteenths, which means each of these little ticks is a 16th, which is wonderful, but there's a problem with it because when you read it, it's smaller than this. This is enlarged so you can see it easily. When you read a tape measure, you notice these long lines are the whole numbers. And then the next longest line is what?
Half.
Half. We know that's a half. Oops, that's not visible. We know that's a half, but it's also 8/16. Everybody understand? Which makes the next longest line what? 3/4, which is also 12/16. Everybody good? And what's the next longest line?
1/8. Oh no.
Yeah, there it's an eighth, so that line would be 7/8 or 14/16, right? Now, some of you have done enough woodwork or messing around with tape measures that you can read this easily. Some of you are going to take a little bit longer. Everybody read these 5 distances and write your answer up there, please. What's the next one?
11/16.
11/16. I'm writing that one in pink. 11/16. Nicely done. What's the third one? 1 3/8.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3/8. Nicely done. And the fourth one? 2 13/16. I think somebody knows how to read a tape measure over there. And the last one? 3 7/16. Excellent. Now, what makes this ruler on the top way easier? Yeah, this one's centimeters. So we don't need to worry about fractions, do we? What can we use? Decimals, because it's SI. So what's this first one? Go, do those 3. 11.4. What's this one? 13. What's this one? 16.7. Now, Tricky McTrickleton. Do these 4.
Are those inches?
Mm-hmm.
So like this is 4. Where's the half hole? Is that
But you're right. What's different about that bottom one?
It's in inches.
Yep. But what's different about the bottom one here than the tape measure there?
It starts at 4, technically.
Kind of. More importantly, there's no 16ths. It's split into different fractions, isn't it? So you can't always just count. You have to look and see what the particular measuring device is split into. So this is eighths now, yes? So each little tick is now not a 16th, it's an eighth. So what's this guy? 4 5/8. What's this guy? 5 1/2, because it's 4/8. What's this guy? 7/8. And what's this guy? 7 1/4. Everybody good? Sweet. You have 10 minutes left in class, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. What day is it today? Friday? Oh, I lie. You have 20 minutes left in class. Perfect. On Fridays, I don't like to do new stuff because your guys' brains are thinking about the weekend. I know this because my brain is thinking about the weekend. Here's a little piece of advice for you. When you get old and you have to buy things, big things like refrigerators, washing machines, cars, you can find out the day that that thing was manufactured. And statistics say you should not buy anything that was manufactured on a Monday or a Friday.
Oh yeah.
Because they statistically break down way more often. So before you go out, you buy that refrigerator, check the date of manufacture. And then go to Google and find out if it was a Monday or a Friday. If it was Monday or Friday, you don't want it. I, being the smart man that I am, know that you should try to avoid too much new stuff on a Friday or a Monday. It's not possible to do it all the time, but sometimes it is. Also, I like to not give you tests or quizzes on Fridays or Mondays because of what I just said. So, you all will have your first quiz. You can see right here, quiz 1, 2 lessons from now, right? So our next lesson will be Monday. We'll have a lesson Tuesday. We'll be having a quiz Wednesday. I'll write it on the board when we get a little closer. Okay? But you're also not sitting around doing nothing for 20 minutes. You need to do these 2 pages of fraction work. You all told me you knew how to do fractions. You didn't need a refresher. So you're going to do those 2 pages, 15 and 16. One of them gives a really funny joke. One of them is a piece of crap joke. But I like it anyway. Okay? Do that. Then you got 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes to do it. You're not going to have any homework for your long weekend. A long weekend. It's not a long weekend, you idiot. You guys don't have a long weekend until when? 21st, you get a long weekend. Then you get another one for Thanksgiving. Then you get another one in October. How was it? Nice. All you grade 10s, that's what you have to look forward to, right? It was awesome. I think he might be being a little sarcastic.